Good morning. As you all know, the nifs conducted a few projects during this time of COVID-19 pandemic to contribute to the national program of the battle against coronavirus. I warmly welcome all of you to this special occasion of handing over the repaired ventilators to the Teaching Hospital of Peradeniya and introducing the other COVID-19 related projects. Now I call upon the Director, the National Institute of Fundamental Studies, Professor Saban Senavira, to welcome you to this event.
Good morning. Welcome to NIFS, and I want to welcome Professor Cyril Ponnamperuma and Professor Vasantha Pinto to the institute, and also I want to thank for putting working all during difficult time together, especially Professor Cyril was the key point that we start when we start this project. And project is we had a number of projects we worked, and then initially we start just over a telephone call nearly when this thing pop up, the COVID-19 issue. Like we got together and start working on the ventilator project. The ventilator project, ventilator project is a okay. The director also here, and welcome, and I'm very pleased to see you here, and from Peradeniya, the Candy Peradeniya.
He's the provincial director as well.
Yeah, he's a provincial director as well. Right. Welcome. And this is a very interesting thing. It was nearly three months back when this thing happened, pop up, and I talked to Professor Cyril. And Professor Cyril, and then just maybe within an hour or two, he talked to the whole team, including Professor Vasanthi, and got together, and we team up to work on it to develop a ventilator. It's like a little bit of high-end ventilator, and quickly we applied for funding, and in fact, the couple of agencies agreed to give us to support us. I think still we are working on the project, and we got NRC support, NSF support for the to develop ventilator. That's going on, and mainly is happening in Peradeniya, but we are also working part of the team. And the second project pop up with our team is the Vasanthi came up and said that we have nearly 500 ventilators around the country, and if we can fix together. That's all the ventilators being sidelined and never used, after is like broken ventilators, and so then in fact Vasanthi organized the whole thing, brought all the ventilators, most of the ventilators to Peradeniya, and us, we didn't do a lot of work, but maybe at least we could repair 3 ventilators, it's broken ventilators, and the ventilator cost, as I said, is around somewhere 4 to 5 million rupees, so that's now we can tell that we have the technical capabilities. If in future, if you need anything, this kind of support, we can do it here. And other interesting thing I want to tell you that, like in Sri Lanka, mostly, we all work in silos meaning single disciplines. And this is the other thing I saw, like all disciplines we congregate together, and especially now the medicine, engineering, biological science, and all discipline need to work together if you need to do something like this project. So luckily we had all around, and the Peradeniya and the hospital staff and so on, we worked together, and so now we are working together to develop the good ventilator for the country. That's the other thing. And there are a lot of people involved. from the engineering faculty and medical faculty and other faculty, agriculture faculty, and the NIFS, and also from outside other institutions. And there are a lot of people. I don't want to name all these things. It's it's a big team working on the project. In addition to the ventilator, I thought, what we did during last 3 months, I want to highlight from our side that we involved with the projects developing the diagnostic kit is an antibody-based diagnostic kit that is progressing, and we have made a very good progress. And I think we should be able to deliver the diagnostic tool to the country very soon, if everything progressing quite well. And apart from that, we have developed what is other need. The biggest need was around a disinfectant. We developed technology. It's a old technology, but developed the makeshift technology to make sodium hypochlorite here. That's largely adapted. Going to adapt around the country, hospitals and other institutions. And so we closely work with the Army, Sri Lankan Army, that they have developed a good manufacturing plant on base of the technology that we have developed. Especially I want to thank the team involved, Professor Kumar, Professor Kirti Tennako, and there's a lot of other staff like RAs and so on. I would also like to thank our staff, especially Professor Lakshman, Professor Asri Nanayakara. He was involved with the big team. We developed a UVC light for the disinfectant to use in it. That's also now manufacturing in the country. That's going to adapt in large scale. That's happened. That's already done. So especially I want to thank Professor Asri. He was during the COVID period. He spent significant time here. And Professor the Kulasurya, again, he was working with the put security area, Professor Kulasurya and Professor Gamini. There was a number of projects had gone through from this system, and I remember the time has spent a lot of he was here at the IFS during that difficult time and helping to lift the put security in the country. I really want to thank the whole team. And the Professor Maganarachi, and she was involved with the antibody, the testing kit development, and Dr. Lakmal, and so on. So a number of I don't want to miss the people who really contribute for this number of projects, but those are the people who really work in, especially when it comes to the ventilator project, repair project. Mr. Mahesh Kulatunga, Mr. Anurudh Disanayaka, Mr. Malit Senanayaka, and Somananda, and all tirelessly, a whole period of 3 months that they work here and to put this thing together. So I really want to thank them. And especially I want to say thank our county department, because they were with us, because we had to order things, we had to get things from outside, from overseas and so on there, and we had to organize payments and so on. So they were with us all the time, and our lab manager, she also did a marvelous job, especially Priyanthi Pereira, sorry. Yeah. So apart from this organization, NIFS, Peradeniya, and the Teaching Hospital Peradeniya and Health Department, we also work with the ITI, Industrial Technology Institute, and Slintech, and Sri Lankan Army, and Ministry of Health, etc. So that is a very good exercise for us. We had an opportunity to work together in a multidisciplinary environment to achieve our project objectives. So finally, I want to again thank you very much for coming and visiting us. This is a very informal gathering. We didn't plan anything, and we did not invite anybody, apart from the key partners involved with the projects. And perhaps I would have missed a lot of people who did a lot of work on the various project. And finally, I want to thank all my staff. They all work together during this time, and in fact, that 3 months is a very productive time for us, for our institution, like our output measured by the scientific output. For example, I want to share is that we had a nearly 70-80 research publications submitted and a nearly 10-15 grants submitted during that 3 months. That's usually our annual output, annual outcome. So that's like somehow we navigate that time very effectively, and we work together. We all work together. Everybody supported each other, and I think that's what we want to see. If any, the work to the future, especially, I really encourage everybody to work in a multidisciplinary research atmosphere and create that culture here, and we have opportunity in Kandy because we have big few institutions around. Okay, I won't take a lot of time. This is briefly what I want to say. Again, I want to, I think there is a small video. After that, we can hand over the instrument to the Peradeniya Hospital. Thank you.
It's time to hand over the repaired ventilators to the Teaching Hospital Peradeniya. For this, I would like to invite the Director NIFS, Professor Saman Senavira, Professor Cyril Ponnamperuma, Faculty of Engineering, University of Peradeniya, Dr. Arjuna Tilakaratne, Provincial Director, Central Province and Director of Peradeniya Teaching Hospital, Professor Vasanthi Kinto, representing the Faculty of Medicine, University of Peradeniya and Teaching Hospital Peradeniya, on stage. I would like to invite Dr. Arjuna Tilakaratne, Provincial Director, Central Province and Director, Peradeniya Teaching Hospital, to address the gathering.
Good morning, all of you. Professor Saman Senavira, Director NIHS, and the other professors and lecturers in the NIHS, and Professor Vasanthi Kinto, our Professor in Anesthesiology and Critical Medicine, Clinical Fellow of Medicine, and other distinguished guests. So I think today is a very important day because this is the day of harvesting of a long process. I think in this process, many people were involved, and it is not a one day or one night process work. The many people involved in voluntary, and they did very hard work. So I think you can remember in 2019 November, with the commencements of this COVID-19 pandemic, there were a lot of people were dying due to a lot of reasons. The one main reason is lack of ventilators. The ventilators were the one major treatment that need the care of the COVID people, COVID patients. So in Sri Lanka, actually we realized we had only 500 to 600 ventilators to treat these people. And we found there are a lot of ventilators, those who were removed from the service due to repairs. So some were actually, the technology was little bit old, so the company they are not producing the enough whatever spare parts and all, so they were removed from the system. So in that occasion, we had a discussion with our people, the Professor Pinto and our clinicians, and with the University of Engineering and other and you all, and you, the Faculty of Engineering and or the people were at that time voluntarily came up to repair those equipment. So actually it is a very valuable whatever the thing that we have done. So now from the University of Peradeniya, the engineering faculty, they repaired a lot of ventilators, and Professor Saman take few ventilators to repair. So I think we must thank you all for your endeavor to prepare these ventilators. And not only that, I think Corona has opened new window to us. They insist us to think indifferently, and you all now have done, have invented, have introduced new things to the world. So now I think we know we have new people, new way and new ways to repair and to get some technical input to repair our medical equipment and to get some input to improve our clinical services. So thank you very much, Professor Saman and your team for whatever you have done. And I think Professor Vasanta Pinto is the person who coordinates all the things with the Faculty of Engineering and you all. So I hope he would address you and tell something. Honestly, not fair. I don't know something about what had happened in this scenario. Okay, so thank you very much again for all of you. So that for the biggest support to improve our health services in Sri Lanka. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Arjuna. Now I call upon Professor Vasanta Pinto to address the gathering.
Good morning to all of you. I think Arjuna has told everything what I needed to tell, but anyway, thank you for inviting us for this wonderful event. And let me just remind you 3 months ago how we felt. It was, I remember, from the 1st of March when I was returned from Germany, and I was just hearing what was happening in Italy at that time. And on the way from the plane, I was just thinking, if this struck us, what are we going to do? And the government was really good to give us the other medicine and also on things like consumables and all. But to get a ventilator at that time was a dream, because the Italy, where they make a lot of ventilators, and Germany, everywhere, they have been using those. And the country, and I also went for a ventilator workshop. And I knew that their factory had about 70s, and I just called to say, they said all 70 was booked, they were booked, but bookings were cancelled and they were sent to Italy because they have been using. And then only these all one ventilator for 8 patients. Did you see that on the news? You know, those type of things also came up. And it was very heartening to see, disheartening to see that old people in UK and Italy and all, they were not even counted to be ventilated. And I was just looking at my father and I was just thinking, being born in a country where a lot of human values are being given a high place, are we to have this? Am I to decide, when I was given a call for one ventilator for few patients, whom to be given this care? Am I to say my father, like my father, the other fathers, not to be ventilated? So we were really sad, and we waited hours and we discussed hours and hours, and Cyril came up with the idea, let's make a ventilator. And that's how we, and someone, can you remember, the 3 of us got together. We actually started by making a makeshift ventilator. You asked for the funds for that actually. So that day I really slept well, at least after some days, that thinking that this might be a reality. And I was listening everywhere that children got together, the young researchers got together, they were making like bag squeezers and things like that. Even that could save. So on one side we made a lot of regulations and guidelines to do, how to do. But we knew the limitation is this, if I remember right. Why can't we try to, some of the ventilators I said this was not working on this, so we'll start repairing the ventilators. So they were what we call ventilator graveyards were there, and that's where the directors came into help, and Arjuna and his team managed to collect the ventilators. Some were in those graveyards of ventilators, and some were on the way to rent. So all these ventilators were not using. They were all broken, they were dying, or already dead, rather dead. And they were on their way to the graveyard, and you have saved a ventilator. And with one of these, you are saving so many lives, not one life. And our new ventilator is also on the way. We can, in an emergency, we can pull out at least a half-done ventilator by this time to save. So thank you very much. You all have contributed for a tremendous national requirement, and we can be so proud of ourselves. And thank you very much for giving me the peace of mind. If we are hitting it tomorrow, we are at least ready for some activity to be done. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Professor Vasanthi. Now I'd like to invite Professor Cyril as well to say a few words.
Thank you. I'm not a good speaker at first place. I always try to avoid speaking. Thank you so much, Samai. We became so close. I mean, you wouldn't mind calling you Samai. Yeah, so this was actually an exciting experience for us, which in fact developed a lot of confidence on us, how resilient we are in difficult situations in terms of application of technology. History, in fact, goes back a little bit. If I may recall what has happened, I think the need for the development of a ventilator came from National Science Foundation on the directive from the Honorable Prime Minister. And then they approached NIFS, not us. So therefore, a lot of credit goes to NIFS. And we all got this opportunity to embark on this exercise because of NIFS. So I think that credit should be given to NIFS. And Saman and I had some discussions on something else, I mean, on how we could make the central province a knowledge hub, so on and so forth, having so many research institutes around. We work in, I mean, he used the word in silos, and how we could come together and create a bustling science city in Kenya. We had some discussions and, of course, a couple of drinks as well. And when this came to Saman immediately called me, and I said, give me a little time, and I'll come back. And gave a couple of calls, and I think Vasanthi was also one of the members, and gave a couple of calls to my colleagues, and whether they would like to come out and do this. Because that was the time that nobody wanted to come out, even. Nobody had any idea about what this epidemic is about. So I'm so happy to say that a bunch of young guys from my department committed to come and undertake this. And we quickly set up a WhatsApp group, and which in fact expanded like nothing. I mean, so from doctors, engineers, scientists, I mean, we have a big now WhatsApp group on ventilator project. And everybody was contributing in different ways. And we thought that undertaking the repairs would give us a good opportunity to go into the technical details of them, which might be useful in our new development. Which in fact did. And I'm sure but of course, I mean, we as an electrical engineering department had a lot of resources compared to what NIFS has in that particular area. And I'm so glad that, I mean, within that resources restricted environment, NIFS has displayed huge capacity by repairing these ventilators. I mean, we knew how tough it was for us as specialists in electronics. But once we got first, second one up and running, so we felt, okay, this is no more a game for us. So I think we have now repaired close to 30 ventilators, out of which 12 have been already handed over. Another 20 or so waiting to be handed over to the ministry. So that gave enormous confidence for us. And I mean, people might think that this is okay, just repair, but it was very interesting things actually. I mean, bunch of graduate students were working on this. Now they were at Akbar, but no canteens. So something should be done. So I had to cook for them at home. In the night I used to provide them with dinner. And my wife was asking, hey, now you have 4 children, now do you want more? But anyway, we had very good experience and very good team effort, as someone said. It's due to team effort, and which enabled us to do this thing, sort of undertake a project of this. And the new and also it was a time. I mean, I think Vasant was very correct. Not only ventilators, even components for ventilators were not available. Leave aside full ventilators. For repairs, we needed components, and it was extremely difficult to get them down. We have to cannibalize and look for our friends. I mean, it was very interesting. When we fired a message to a group of our alumni world over, we were getting components. This is amazing, and it was an amazing experience. I mean, how much they are attached to though they live outside, and from China, from UK. And even some of the companies in Sri Lanka, they were immensely supportive, financially, not only financially. I mean, it was a time that DHL was not working to get something down from somewhere, and they used their Singapore office to collect those products, components, and bring them down to Sri Lanka. And that was, this operation was very complex actually. It's not a very rosy kind of an exercise. Imagine. Nobody came out in March, April, and it's the time that we did. I think we started in second half of March, and I think April 11th we handed over 12 units back to the ministry. And Dr. Harshadi Silva, Deputy Director General of Health Services, came here. He was my roommate actually at the university, so I was happy to invite him, and he was here. And Arjuna was there, and the last that we had a good drink at my place. So anyway, this was a very interesting exercise, and I'm so happy to associate NIFS in this exercise, and tirelessly we worked, and I believe that this exercise could leverage what we are planning in the future. I believe that knowledge is the only resource we have to face difficult situations. So we should not undermine that, and we should actually try to make use that whenever possible when we are in difficult times. So Saman, thank you so much for inviting me, and well, of course, I mean, there are a lot of people who deserve credits more than I do. I in fact just did the coordination, but a lot of hard work. My graduate students, I mean, they work till 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, that kind of effort, I can't believe. COVID was rampant, and nobody knew how this got, how people get infected, and all kinds of suspicion. And pretty interestingly, when these came, I mean, to test, our guys didn't go to hospital, so they were so scared. And of course, myself and someone were brave enough to go there, right? And also, though we went there, we had all our concerns, and Vasanthi was very, very good politically there and telling us, don't worry, no COVID, I am there, so not to worry. So we went there. Nobody went there, only we two went there to pick. So that was the kind of situation that we had at the beginning, and it was so exciting again for us to have undertaken this project. And the new ventilator, which is being developed, is on the way, and we felt that makeshift things may not work with humans, because I myself doesn't want to get hooked up to something which is perhaps not well reliable enough. So therefore, we thought that we will actually put a lot of efforts on developing something sensible, and we are now doing it. And we got down a lot of components already down, and the assembly is happening. Displays are being done. Maybe within next few weeks, or maybe in a month or so, we will have first working model at Peradeniya. And well, I think I'm very proud of Peradeniya engineering as well. I mean, of course, I mean, we all are proud about Peradeniya, which is top 500 university now in the country, and all of us as Sri Lanka should be happy about that. We have at least one university in the country which is in top 500 in the world. So I think we need to display that that caliber, and we are determined to do that, and we will do that. So thank you so much again, and thank you so much for the support given, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share a few words with you. Thank you very much.